Good evening, this is ROCKFLESH, ROCKFLESH.com, and tonight we are the O2 Ritz for the Manchester date of Monster Truck. I am with Jon Harvey, vocalist and bass player. How is the tour going? 12 dates in the UK this time?
Yeah,
it's the biggest tour.
It's a lot of dates. It's been great so far. We've had a lot of fun times and a lot of just really good shows so far. This is our fourth, I believe. So
the third, and tonight is the fourth.
Yeah,
it's like 2 days off, so you should be
feeling good.
Form.
Yeah, no problem at all. So it's been really good and laid back. So a lot of fun times.
So you've been obviously touring with those Damn Crows. Mm-hmm. Did you know them before, or
not really? We met them at Download this year.
Yeah, they were on the same.
Yeah, our managers.
After you, I think.
Our managers are friends. So yeah, they were right before us, and then and then it was us, and then it was a good. It was a good matchup then. We met them. We were really good. Became friends, sort of, over the 3 hours that you can. And then, we came in here. But it's been great. They're awesome. And we're really lucky to have them on with us.
Good. I was going to say you've had 2 days off since, I think it was it Bristol the last day? Oxford on Sunday night.
Yep.
So have you been, what have you been doing for the last couple of days?
We were in Sheffield, actually just hanging out with we have some friends that live there.
Oh, right,
so we just spent it down there. Yeah, catching up with friends.
Okay. The new album, Warriors, has just come out, 30th of September, last Friday. I found it personally a lot more simpler than the previous albums.
Right.
Probably in the space given to each song, the riffs, the melodies seems to be. How would you describe the fourth album, The Warriors, compared to the 3 previous albums?
I think this one has a little bit more. It feels like it's a little more thought out, and like we did things the way we wanted to, focus more on being ourselves rather than trying to try everything all at once. And I like it. I think it worked out in the way it should have. It doesn't have as much diversity in songs, but that was kind of what we agreed on anyways. We were just like, you know what, let's just pound it, put out an album that's all bangers, see what happens.
I see. How do you approach each album? Do you approach them exactly in the same way in the creative process, meaning you are the main songwriter or Jeremy writes some songs, you come with bits of riffs, you obviously on bass, but do you write most of them on guitar and then come back and exchange all ideas? Or?
Oh yeah, typically. It's usually like, currently it's mostly me. We're doing like most of the major strong structure, and I always write lyrics and melodies. So it's been, and then sometimes we'll collaborate on a few songs. On Warriors, I think it was half and half. Half the songs I just wrote by myself, and then the other half we collaborated together. So it was, it's been an interesting way to do it. I mean, we never did it that way before. We always got into a room and did it all together, but it was a little different with COVID.
Yeah.
So now it's basically just whoever wants to do the work. Okay.
Thoughts for the future, future albums. Yes. That's it. It's all kind of settled.
Right.
Talking about COVID, I followed you on the social media where you were coming up with a riff every day.
Yeah.
I was wondering how many of those riffs actually made it to the record.
Warriors was one of them. The title track was one of those riffs. The rest of it was just fun. Yeah, you get to 200. I get to riff to 276, I think. So.
And when you come up to such an amount of riffs, how do you go and say this one sticks? And then the other 200 can go?
I don't know.
It's pretty much
just whatever one works the best, I think, and whichever one can be turned into a song the best. But that was mostly just fun because I was bored. No one was working together, so I had to do something.
And, so were we. I suppose all the fans were basically, there's nothing coming out, no tools. You know, it was a way of being kept entertained on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's great.
I found that your vocals are on this album are really more gnarly on a few songs where you really look like you were really angry about something.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Live Free.
Yeah.
Wild Man.
Yeah.
At the end. Mm-hmm. Did you do anything different compared to previous album? It seems like your vocals really opened up and really.
I think. Well, I took lessons between True Rockers and this one. I've done vocal training I did it for a year straight up. And it was great. It taught me how to sing properly. And I think it definitely shows on this album.
It seems that some of the ranges and the notes you're reaching are like, wow.
I figured it out.
Yes. Yeah.
And it took a while. But yeah, I have a great vocal coach in Canada, so it was great.
Okay. Regarding again the album, you've always produced the last 4 albums or all of the albums pretty much with Eric Ratz.
Yep, Ratz. Yeah,
and basically, is he your go-to guy?
He's pretty much the guy. He's why we sound the way we sound a lot of the time, especially on records.
So you never thought about he's part of the band. What does it bring to the table within if the songs are already written?
I think he really brings honesty and a desire to make it better. Like he's not every time he has a criticism, you don't take it like he wants it his way. It's like it's what's better for the song. So I think working with him that way it's easy, and we're friends, so we can be really frank with each other and honest. So
when you're struggling you're about an ID, someone else is about an ID, you kind of become the judge.
Yeah, in a way, and it also allows us to have another perspective on things that we've been very closed off about. So,
have you ever considered going with anyone else or someone else?
We did True Rockers with Dan Weller, who's from the UK actually, and it went fine, but it didn't sound like us because all of our other records are done with the same producer. So we went back to Eric this time to try and I was just trying to solidify who we are. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Regarding the drummer. I was surprised I downloaded that. Is it Theodore?
Yeah, Theodore McKibben. Yeah, Theo McKibben, yeah.
Basically, what's the situation? Is he...
He's here.
Is he here to stay?
I'm not sure.
Is it a temporary situation while you are having tools and...
Yeah, it's like a friendship thing right now. He's a good friend of ours, and when our drummer left, we asked him to step in, and he said sure. He's got a wife and a child and a career otherwise.
Yeah,
but he got time off, so now he can just work with us for now.
Did you record the drums on the album?
No, that was our old drummer Steve did it.
Oh right. Yeah. So it was after. So when was the album really recorded? That was during the COVID period.
Yeah,
2020. Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's only coming now. So yeah, I thought maybe it was recorded in the last 12 months.
No,
and
it's
then
been a while.
It would have been okay.
Yeah.
Now regarding the songs, I would say 80% I've got a good chorus going along with a big choir of whoa.
Oh yeah, always.
It has to be, and it's probably one of the things that drew me to Monster Truck. Justin Hawkins of The Darkness said, "You can deny the power of a great O."
Yeah, exactly.
Which song makes a great O, and which one you decide? No, we're not going to bother on this one.
It's funny. I never really know. It just comes to you. You know what I mean? If it needs one, we put one in. If not, if the melody isn't there or it's not good, we just leave. But I try to do lyrics all the time, and the woes are just there for dramatic effect. I use them more like it's a guitar riff, or more like it's of a gang vocal variety rather than a lead vocal. So it's more so just using the voice as an instrument more than trying to
But also being so easy, it brings the crowd in.
Well, everyone's got that instrument, right?
Yes.
So
I love mine tonight. Ready.
Everyone can play the voice, so we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You've been obviously to download 3 times. You've done Rambling Men Fair. In the UK, you've got another festival for December with Planet Rockstock.
Yeah, Planet Rockstock, yeah.
Booked at early December. It would look like really the UK loves you.
I think so. We do pretty good. I mean, it's why we keep getting to come back.
Did you have originally a strategy from Hamilton, where you're from? Or it's just pure coincidence that the UK was drawn to you and dragged you here?
I think we got lucky a few times, and we were going to come over anyways because every band in Canada dreams of coming over to Europe or going to the UK and playing a bunch of shows. So we were going to do it anyways, but we started doing it and it started working. So it just became part of the touring cycle. More so than even America. We come to the UK more than we go to the States, and the States are right there.
That's what I was thinking.
But it's quite wild. So it just became the place we want to go. Some of us want to go. I would love to go over to the States, but some people in our band aren't too into it.
I was going to say, have you thought about living in the UK and staying here?
Yeah, but I mean, it's so much more expensive.
So much more traveling back and forth.
It's way more expensive, and Canada is the best. To be honest with you, I love it. There's so much space.
Yeah,
everyone's got room. There's not enough room
we can't deny space. That's for sure. We can't compete with England. My next question is regarding living in the UK and Hamilton. Obviously, when you go home in Canada, as you said, are you a whiskey man or a sweet tea man?
I just like
or both.
Either. That was those lyrics were funny because I was thinking about a friend of mine who's always into drinking whiskey, and he also drinks iced teas. But yeah, it was more of like just being in the backyard and figuring it out. When I'm at home, I'm Canadian. I smoke weed.
I don't think you. I think it's been mentioned a few times.
Yeah, I do that a few times. But yeah, that's kind of my vice. It's not whiskey or sugar.
So no whiskey, no tea. Oh well, then England is not a country for you. Definitely not. Regarding the band and the progression that you've had over the last 10 years, it's been so rapid, especially in the UK. What would be your definition of success? Would you consider successful and you still got some aims?
I feel like anything I get is great. I'm a pretty content person. I find success is up to you to deem what is success. So, and not letting anyone else tell you what that is. So I think personally, I feel successful all the time. I have an amazing family who I love. I get to play music for a living. I don't know what could be better, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking, if you wrote an autobiography, and you had to look back on your past 10 years, what would you have one regret and one moment where you were proud? Which one would that be? Where you would change things and one thing was just perfect?
I don't know if I would change anything. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and everything is. I don't want to say any weird like buzzwords about it, but I feel like everyone's got a path that they follow until their path ends, and I don't think it's predetermined or anything like that. And I feel like everything that happens, whether good or bad, is just a part of the path.
Meant to be.
Yes,
kind of.
It's either a hill or a valley. And I don't even like to think of regrets. There's things that I wish I hadn't done, but that's what brought me here.
Yeah.
So that my path, it's all part of my path.
I just wondered if one day you would be writing this book and you'll be saying, "Oh, you remember that day?
Oh,
that was a bad day."
I've had a few of those, but it's kind of one of those.
But
things.
You try to forget them.
Yeah, for the most part. And I learned really early that don't be dumb on tour. You know, take care of yourself. You know, go to bed on time. Maybe don't stay out till 4 a.m. after the show. Stuff like that. Yeah. And you start to learn that every day can be fun.
Yeah. What would you say was the best moment so far?
Best moment so far? I don't even know. I've done a lot of great things. I've been very, very lucky to have the career I've had.
With all the bands you've toured.
Yeah, I know. It's seriously, I can't think of anything that really stands out that crazily because everything that happens is crazy.
I guess we'll have to wait for that book to be written. Then.
Yeah, exactly. Because the craziest thing when I'm thinking about the pivotal moments and all these other things, there's just so many that intertwine with each other. It turns into like this blur of 8 years of my life. You know what I mean? It's quite wild. I don't even know what it
Well, that gives you something to think about.
Yeah, it really does.
And finally, my last question. I've been watching you over the last 3-4 times you've been to the UK, and you keep on standing on that case.
Yeah.
It's changed shape, it's changed color, it's changed form. What's in it?
It's just, it's just stuff that I use for stage. But what it is, it's an anchor for my voice. So I don't know why. When I was playing in our practice when we first started, I put my foot up on this toolbox and started singing. I was like, whoa, I can control my voice better that way. And it's actually a trick that opera singers use. They stand off the side and put all their weight on one leg to ground and center their voice. So when I started taking vocal lessons, my vocal coach is like, why are you putting your foot up on that thing? And I'm like, oh, I do it because I can sing better. He goes, you're right. You can't because that's the way it happens. So it actually has a functional purpose.
I thought that was big all in the bass.
Right? Well, it's kind of fun too. Yeah. But I mean, it definitely has a purpose.
And I thought maybe you've got a lot of sweeties or a snack or something in there, just ready for the tour.
It's all boring. It's like tools and tape.
Strings.
and strings. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Jon.
Thank you.
That was Jon Harvey from Monster Truck, and this is for ROCKFLESH.com. Meanwhile, don't forget to check out the rest of the dates. There's still a good 9 dates around the UK, which you can find out on ilovemonstertruck.com.
Yep.
And for the rest of the review and the interview, go to rockflesh.com. Thank you. Thank you, Jon.
Cheers.